This is Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. We're here on Xbox Series X, taking a look at the big, I guess they're calling it the 2.0 update, which features the magic of third-person gameplay. Crazy, I know, right? Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So yeah, Avatar, I took a look at this on the PlayStation side of things for the Pro, and that was quite popular, so I would imagine, hey, we should probably take a look at this on Series X as well. So this is kind of a big relaunch, and or relaunching point, I guess, for the game. There's a new big expansion. There's also some other new content, some changes, gameplay mechanic adjustments, but mostly third person. That's kind of the big thing. When the game first came out, I always sort of thought that this should have been third person or had the option. I mean, it's a shooter game, right? Like, so you use your bow and arrow, you use human guns. It makes sense that it's first person. I don't have a problem with it. I kind of worked through it and I was like, okay, this is fine. But I was sort of sitting there just kind of being like, it just kind of makes sense to see it from third person, and it sort of vibes with the world quite well. And it's just kind of really nice that this is now an option for the game, making it, look better, I guess you would say, over time, enhancing things, improving stuff, adding new content. They've definitely done some work for this Avatar experience, and they're obviously tying it into the movie and whatnot. And I am curious if this is something they may continue, or maybe do a sequel to build off of. I don't know if this one was necessarily a big hit, but they definitely have continued to work on this game and advance it and enhance the experience, as to say, for those coming in and wanting to play it. And yeah, having, that quality of life thing that so many people were sort of expecting and or desiring, I think is a great way to achieve it. Honestly, I thought third person was sort of a just logical thing for them to do, and it's great that they did a big update. And it's interesting that people are so excited about the fact that it's got a third-person update that's available for everybody to enjoy. So this one does have a few different visual options. It doesn't have sort of the upgrades that you would see on like the Pro that we checked out, but it does have its own host of things, and it is a pretty decent-looking game from a visual and a technical standpoint, I guess you would say, here on the Series X. It was actually one of the better-looking current-gen games, I thought. Like, it actually is quite beautiful. The gameplay mechanics, where you're sort of, like, doing armor grinding and stuff isn't fun, but they've worked on that a bit to improve it, and yeah, it's just kind of a new perspective and a fresh way to enjoy the game. So let's talk about the technical details, I guess. New Game Plus, photo mode, co-op, new guidance system options, and then graphics qualities. So if you're favoring quality, that is like an 1800p cap at 30 FPS. Everything is some level of temporal scaling, FSR, fog settings, dithering, eco mode settings. And then there's favorite performance. We're going to switch to favorite quality. So favorite quality is essentially if you have 120 hertz display, something that gives you that 120 FPS container. This is a 40 FPS mode, so it's just taking the quality settings and it's just giving you a little bit more frame rate. I think if you want to kind of see what the game can look like at a max kind of visual with a bit of fluidity, I think the quality mode is a nice way to go about it. It's something cool to try out. I would recommend taking a look at it and just kind of taking in the beauty of the world. And again, it's like an 1800p sort of container and dynamic downwards, and then, temporarily scaled outwards to 4K. So yeah, then there's that option. And then, of course, there is the preferred way and recommended way to play, which is the performance mode. So performance mode, instantly a lot smoother. This is a much lower resolution cap. It's definitely a lot blurrier, like a lot blurrier. And this one is like a 1300p-ish cap going down, and it's like, it is a lot blurrier. It's still a good looking game, like visually and stuff. It's still quite impressive, but it is, yeah, you can definitely Definitely tell the visual drop on this one, just for the fuzziness of the FSR kind of going on. There's also HDR support, VRR, which is variable refresh rate, and the ray tracing, which is the global illumination system. And there's spatial sound support. And there's Avatar. So, yeah, you're definitely, I would say performance mode is the way to go, but it is quite a sacrifice for the visuals of what are, actually, like, is a pretty great looking game. You definitely have an edge when you play it on Pro, but it still is a very visually appealing sort of experience when you are going to play this. Now, gameplay side, you know, the gameplay itself is okay. I do find this game to be something that is really beautiful to play, just if you'd like to explore an alien world. It's got such a wealth of just gorgeous locations and setups and scenarios that you can visit. And, yeah, it's really, really quite a beautiful thing. I really do think this game is quite visually stunning. And like a technical sort of benchmark for visuals this gen. At the same time, it is kind of like, you know, you sort of want gameplay that kind of matches that, and yeah, some of the gameplay stuff was just kind of like grinding for like arm pads and stuff. It's like, not really my thing, but some people are into that. So the gameplay revolves around humans kind of polluting the world, because, you know, they're always the bad guys and everything. Pure evilness. Trying to refine and get materials and stuff, and you're fighting back using human weapons and technology, and you got a tragic backstory and everything of how the humans took you from your home and that, which actually mirrors Canadian history, which is interesting, so I think they could have handled that with a little bit more depth, as to say. But, yeah, that's the story, and you're like, you know, save the planet kind of a thing, and yeah, that's kind of just what the gameplay sort of goes around. You visit these different areas, battling and saving the land and taking out the humans and cleaning things up and gathering loot and gun bullets and rounds, and yeah, like I said, it's a real hack the planet kind of thing. But I kind of like it in the third person. Like, as I said, though, I don't mind it in first person. It is a first-person shooter. It makes sense, it plays well. It's just kind of like, yeah, this new perspective is just like a really cool thing to see, because it just changes up what you're doing quite well. I remember how we kind of destroyed this thing. I think we've got like, no, definitely not that. We have like a vision thing that like sort of shows us where the thing of the thing is that we have to destroy. There we go. We gotta save the planet with sabotage. You know, I just can't stand it. I know you planned it. Sabotage. Pull the lever. See, it makes sense as a first person kind of thing. But now you can do third person. It's just, it's a new perspective is what it is. You'll either like it or you won't care. And I think that's kind of cool too, that you get the choice. Especially for a game where, as I said, there was a lot of, like, even when I was playing it, to me it felt like a no-brainer that it should have a third person mode or be playable sometimes in third person. Especially with all like the climbing and the parkouring and stuff you do. Just adds to the experience. Look at that. Oh, and all the critters immediately come back because we saved the planet. We're tree hugging and doing all the good stuff, and the humans are always so bad. Curse them for trying to get resources to save their way of life. We need everything to be natural here. Sure would hope or hate for them to go through their own sort of, I guess you would say, industrial revolution sort of period. The water is still, you know, it's like the temporal scaling of water these days. but it is such a more like dynamic and intense water. And it doesn't have the waterfall issues that the Pro exhibits, although they are fixing that. But yeah, it's a beautiful game. I'm not huge on Avatar personally, if that makes sense. Like the movies, I watched the first one. It was a cool spectacle, but it was paper thin. I didn't really care to watch any more of them. But I do appreciate this world and the level of detail, because it is ridiculous. The the level of detail this game has. If you've ever been interested in the Navi culture, this basically simulates it almost perfectly. Like the cooking, the stuff you do in the environment. Like you'll see people going out and hunting and living their lives. It's really, really genuinely impressive, the amount of scale and depth of that scale that this game has to it. And of course, you know, all the usual Ubisoft stuff, a bazillion quests, endless side quests and activities, things to do, hunting. It's basically Far Cry meets Avatar. And I think that provides a pretty cool experience. But I think you might be into. I guess it really depends on the individual. But it's such a beautiful and like reactive world too, which is cool. Like so much of like the fauna kind of reacts to you moving around through it. Although it's funny, the effect feels a little less immersive in third person as far as like running through this and seeing like the plants kind of move by you and stuff. I think it hides better in first person. In third person, it's like a little bit more, I would almost say floaty to a degree. Like here it really feels like you're immersively a giant blue alien running through a random alien planet, right? But this you do get to experience it just from a different visual standpoint. And that's why I keep showing them kind of both ways, so that you get an idea like how it's portrayed, like in first, in third. It's interesting. It really genuinely is. And look at that, eh? It's gorgeous. I still think this is one of the better looking games of the current gen. Obviously, you know, the technical stuff, like the consoles and that, just don't really have the oomph to really showcase this as good as it looks. I'd actually love to get this on my PC. I bet it would look really stunning on there. You know, the old 4090 kicking high, but yeah, for now it's just kind of like a nice experience here to kind of take a look at periodically and dive back into and talk about and be like, yeah, this is a really beautiful game. Because I mean, it genuinely is. Like, look at this. It's visually stunning. And there's so much you can do and interact with different animals you can kind of like tame and react to. And definitely a lot of FSR fuzz, which doesn't look the best, but yeah, I think you can mostly look past that and stuff. Like, I mean, I don't think I'd really play this in a quality mode. It's like it's an action game. It's meant to be played at a better fluidity level. I remember when they first let me like take a look at this early, and I was just blown away by it. Even through like it was like cloud streamed to me to do footage and stuff, and then to see, you know, the full release and be covering it and just coming back to it like even a little bit like what a year on or whatever, and just maybe a couple years on, I don't know. And just looking at this and being like, wow, they really did deliver like a crazy place. It's one of those things where it's sort of like it's almost worth it just to explore the world, if that makes sense. Like the game itself is fine, lots of little things you can do, scavenging stuff, and again, like I really don't care about Avatar, but I find the world so enchanting to explore. Like this legitimately feels like a full ecosystem, a living planet that you are visiting and exploring. And like, where else can you do that but in video games? And of course, you just the Ubisoft staple of just giving you a world that really is filled to the brim with detail and places you can go and things you can see. That's just so like appreciated and loved, and I mean, like you could just keep running through this and seeing all this crazy stuff. It's majestic. I guess we could go try to take that out. But it probably wouldn't end well for me, but we'll give it a shot. Because, you know, we'll be shooting things. So, I mean, if you've been looking for an excuse to dive in and play this, you know, there's all the expansions and content, and there's the hype of a film and everything to tie into it. And third-person mode now, if you want. Like, I think there's a lot you can appreciate about this game. The dynamics of day and night and weathering and different variant effects of the world. Where are you, creature? I feel like you didn't really put an effort in to come and get me. just gonna throw it out there, buddy. You did not put the effort in. See that? You can really see the FSR fuzz going crazy. The Pro definitely handles that quite a bit better. For sure. And of course the water just like, it kind of takes you out of it. Like, we really got to work on the water tech for video games again. I know we're getting to high levels of simulation and stuff for it, but it's like, it just looks so visually unappealing when it looks milky like that. It's just not correct, right? Like, we know what water looks like. We see water all the time. It's just, yeah, that is FSR fuzz on this giant thing. Oh yeah, I forgot this super deadly kind of a battle area here. Floof is taking all this damage. You really should have came in here with some food or something.
Okay, Floof. Eyes open.
Floof, no! My journey has ended. Yeah, they really did smoke us. I thought that was one of the ones you land in. Oh, okay.
Do you have anything on this base?
Oh, you found the big refinery.
We're right outside.
Humongous laser. Would be real sad for the RDA if it got busted up.
It would be, would it? We're just this hero Navi going around,
By the way, don't even
killing everything.
Okay? Nothing's getting through that thing. You'll want to sneak your way in.
Not with that attitude. These humans really should have better defenses going on, I will tell you that. There's too many of them. I'm feeling some real emotional pain by fighting these guys. This is like the way out. I mean, it's also really hard to blend in because, like, visually you just look like a giant blue monster. It's actually kind of awkward in third person to a degree too. It's kind of funny because, like, you really are like a slinking giant blue critter, aren't you? Oh, these mechs. I don't suppose I have any food, do I? Oh, I do, okay. Too hard for me to hack? Okay, well that's useless. Might as well just get out of here because I can't do this. I can't hack the planet. I want to, but it just wasn't meant to be for my avatarness. Anyways, I think you'll find this game to be in a very good state at this point. I think you will enjoy the content if this looks like it's intriguing to you. It's cool to have it as third person. It's nice that they spent the time to do that. It's a great quality of life improvement. And I think you'll find there to be a good amount of value within the world of Avatar at this point if you're wanting to play it, because it really is quite an endless experience in terms of content and things to do and interactions to have. And yeah, it's definitely a wild time. Is there no zipline out of here? I really want to escape and be free. Avatar free. Well, that's not good.